For years, this dog lived on a chain in freezing cold. Then, one woman walked by and saw something nobody else did. What happened next broke her heart and changed everything. He stopped barking years ago. There was no point anymore. The chain had been around his neck so long, he couldn't remember what freedom felt like. His name was Max, but nobody called him that. To the world, he was just the dog outside. Every single morning, he woke up to the same thing: a patch of frozen dirt, a broken doghouse, and a distant sounds of a life he'd never know. But here's what nobody saw. Max wasn't born like this. Once, he'd been a puppy, the kind that jumps at every sound, tail wagging like crazy, believing every day would bring something good. Then the chain went on, and it never came off. Days turned into months, months turned into years, and Max learned the hardest lesson of all: hope was dangerous. Then winter came. Not just any winter, the kind that cuts straight through your bones. Max curled tighter in that doghouse, trying to survive nights that felt endless. Snow piled higher, wind bit harder, and for the first time, Max felt something worse than loneliness. He felt forgotten. The neighbors walked by every day. They saw him there, shivering in the cold, eyes empty and distant. Some looked away quickly, pretending not to notice. Others felt a twinge of sympathy, but told themselves it wasn't their business. Someone else will do something, they thought, but nobody ever did. And Max? He watched them all pass by, one after another, until he stopped expecting anything different. But what happened next? Nobody expected it, not even Max. And listen, if you're watching this but haven't subscribed yet, I need you to do something right now. This story gets darker before it gets lighter. And if you believe dogs like Max deserve more than survival, if you believe every chained animal deserves to be seen, then hit that subscribe button right now, because your support is the only reason we can keep telling these stories. And trust me, this one is just getting started. One frozen morning, a woman walked past Max's house. Her name was Sarah. She'd passed this place 100 times before, always in a hurry, always focused on wherever she needed to be. But this time, something made her stop. Maybe it was the way Max looked at her, not with hope anymore, but with complete surrender, like he'd given up on anyone ever noticing him. Sarah froze. She couldn't move. She couldn't just walk away this time. She knocked on the door. The owner answered, confused. "That dog?" he said, glancing at Max like he was surprised anyone cared. "Yeah, he's been out there for years. Good guard dog. Keeps people away." Sarah looked back at Max. He wasn't guarding anything. He was just trying not to die. "Would you let me take him?" she asked. The man shrugged. "Sure, I don't really have time for him anyway." And just like that, Max's entire world shifted. Not with fanfare, not with celebration, just with one person who refused to walk past suffering one more time. Sarah brought Max home that same day. She didn't have much, a tiny apartment, barely enough money to cover her own bills, but she had the one thing Max had never known: unconditional love. That first night changed everything. Max stood in Sarah's apartment, confused. There was no chain, no cold wind, no broken doghouse, just a soft bed, warm food, and this person who kept whispering, "You're safe now." Max didn't believe it. How could he? He kept staring at the door, waiting for someone to drag him back. But Sarah stayed. Every single night she stayed. And slowly, so slowly, Max started to change. First, it was small things: a tail wag when Sarah came home, a curious sniff at a new toy. Then bigger things: running without fear, playing without looking over his shoulder, sleeping without cold seeping into his bones. But here's what really broke Sarah's heart: watching Max learn to trust again.
Because when you've been invisible for years, when you've spent every day believing nobody cares, it takes time to accept that someone finally does. Max had to relearn everything: how to receive love, how to give it back, how to believe this wasn't temporary. Sarah started noticing the little victories. The first time Max wagged his tail without hesitation, the first time he brought her his toy asking to play, the first time he fell asleep without flinching at every sound. These weren't just small moments, they were miracles. Each one proved that even the most broken spirit can heal when given the chance. And Sarah? She realized something powerful. Saving a life doesn't always mean dramatic rescues or viral videos. Sometimes it just means stopping, paying attention, refusing to ignore suffering one more time. But here's the part that haunted her. How many other dogs were still out there? How many animals were waiting for someone to see them the way she saw Max? The thought kept her awake at night, because if she'd walked past Max one more time, if she'd been in too much of a hurry that day, he might still be on that chain, or worse, he might not have survived another winter. Now here's what I want you to think about, and drop your answer in the comments. What takes more courage? Rescuing a dog everyone knows needs help, or rescuing a dog the whole world has learned to ignore? Because Max wasn't in the shelter. He wasn't part of some trending rescue story. He was just there, chained, overlooked, forgotten. Does that make his story less important, or does it make it the most important one of all?
Today, Max is unrecognizable. He has a favorite squeaky ball, a blanket he drags everywhere, a person who'd do anything for him. But most importantly, he's learned something every living being deserves to know: that he matters, that his life has value, that he was always worth saving. This story isn't just about Max. It's about every animal still waiting, every dog on a chain, every cat in a corner, every creature society has decided doesn't matter, but they do. And the difference between a life of suffering and a life of love, it's one person deciding to care. If this moved you, don't just feel it. Do something. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more stories that remind us why compassion matters. Because every single view helps shine a light on the ones still waiting to be seen.